Welcome to A Chat with Heart. I'm your host, Christina Martin. I'm a singer-songwriter. I live on a dirt road with my best friend Dale in rural Nova Scotia, Canada. A Chat with Heart is just me having chill conversations with people I want to celebrate and topics that I'm curious about. If you have a question or a comment for this podcast, call my Heartbeat hotline, 1-902-669-4769. To send this podcast even more love, visit me online at patreon.com/Christina Martin. I'm so happy you're listening. Our personal stories have great power to heal, influence, and inspire. All we have to do is show up for the conversation. If we just talk about it, we could shine a light, we could break a dark day. If we just talk about it, we can cut away, we can make a brighter day. Hello, everyone. I had my summer bug and I passed it on to a few people. So I recorded this episode while I was amidst the illness, and I did get Mike sick, as I later found out. Apologies, Mike. Anyway, everyone's feeling better now. I had my summer bug, so I'm kind of relieved that's out of the way. Because I've got some more shows coming up this summer. Granville Green, July 28th, with the band. Pumped about that. And a few more surprises that, a few more things coming up that, well, some I can't announce yet, but I will. I will soon. And then, of course, the September 6th show in the Halifax release show with band and string quartet is happening, and I'm just getting everything in line for that, and it's a lot of work, and I'm so excited about it. And then I'm just about to announce on my social media the addition of 3 more shows with string quartet and my full band in New Brunswick, Moncton, St. John, and Fredericton, the 3 places you absolutely want to hit up. So I'm really, really thrilled that that's happening finally. And yeah, so I know some of you listening can't get to these shows, but the good news is we are filming the show in Halifax at Alderney Landing. And so I just can't wait to share that. And I mean, all goes well, we'll have a live recording as well to release for the album Storm. So stay tuned for that. Most importantly, I want to give you guys an update on my mom. As for any first-time listeners, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer this winter, and she discovered it last fall, and she had a mastectomy, and she is almost done her chemo. She only has one more. July 15th is her last chemotherapy. She's been in the hospital twice now with a few complications, but it was more preventative, and they're really taking care of her, and she's home now. She's doing great. She really is remarkable. 76 years old, and all her scans have been clear. So when she gets through this chemo and one more surgery, just to remove some lymph nodes on the right side, and then radiation, and then she should just be on a therapy, like a hormone, I think therapy or something. I don't know what they call it, for like maybe 5 years or something. I might have made that up. Yes, because I'm not an oncologist. But the point of my story is she's going to be fine, and I want to thank everybody for all their support. And it's coming to an end. She's not dying. God, that sounds bad. Anyway, this week we've been looking after Mom's new kitty cat, Lola. And she's a delight. She's about 10 months old now, and she likes to snuggle. She's very sweet. She brings us presents at night in the form of little cat toys, little soft cat toys. She's really sweet. We found her at the shelter in Amherst, Nova Scotia. Actually, I called them asking if they, what's the situation with your kittens and adoption? And they said, you know what, we have a cat, 8 months old. She'd be perfect for your mom. She's a calico, and they were right. They were absolutely right. So we're so grateful for Lola, and Mom really loves her, and we do too. So there's an update for you. It's been a quiet but productive summer here in our house. Just chipping away and staying organized and trying to get show ready and rest because, just been kind of hit with some bugs lately, and but everything's fine. I hope y'all are good. Certainly, if you have anything you want to share, you can call my Heartbeat hotline. The number, which I conveniently forget, here, I'm looking it up on my phone. The number is 1-902-669-4769. You know what? If that costs you money, you can always just send a little voice message via email, ChristinaMartinMusic@gmail.com, or through my social media sites. I usually just do Instagram in terms of DM, direct messaging. But you can contact me through my website, ChristinaMartin.net, on the contact page. And that is my email. It comes right to me, ChristinaMartinMusic@gmail.com. Or call the Heartbeat hotline if you're in Canada or it doesn't cost you anything. 1-902-669-4769. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're enjoying these episodes. And if you have any questions for me or future guests, give me a shout. Well, I love this episode. I love all the episodes, but like this one's different. Number one, I was sick when we recorded it, and we recorded it in person. The best time to record an in-person anything when you're sick. But yeah, my guest has become a near and dear friend of mine. Actually, his wife, Kristen Harrington, was my previous guest. So check out our chat with Hart. Gosh, we cover a lot of ground in this one. We talk about tans, why Inverness, Cape Breton is so awesome, the Town Heroes and their new album, Singin, which I love. We talk about Uncle Jimmy, punctuality, so much more. We putz around quite a bit, but I really like the pace of this episode. I hope you do too. It's the very first episode we have not edited anything out. Nothing. That has never happened before. Usually we are taking out like snippets of me over talking or railroading my guests, but not today. My guest today is Michael S. Ryan. He is an award-winning professional musician, songwriter, studio owner, and author of a book I love called You and Me. He's a co-author with his wife, Kristen Harrington. And we just had this awesome pleasure of having them in our home for 2 denim sessions, which are concerts we do in our home where we have an author open the show often. And then I get to play my songs accompanied by the incredible Dale Murray on stellar electric guitar. So Mike and Kristen were here and they just won everybody's hearts over, and they each read a chapter from their book, You and Me, which you can find online and in audio form now. So Ryan, that's not his name. His name is Mike. Mike. But his last name is Ryan. And his middle name is Steven. So Mike has, he's been playing music professionally for, I'm going to say over 12 years now. And he's the frontman and songwriter for the Town Heroes. And he also has a solo project. He's toured the world, released 6, maybe now 7, like critically acclaimed albums. We're talking about, he's like the recipient of 11 Music Nova Scotia Awards, 5 East Coast Music Awards, a lot of the Coast Best of honors, including Best Band in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and a ton of songwriting accolades. And he has a studio. It's called Hot Jupiter Studios. It's in Tantallon, Nova Scotia. And check that out if you're listening, you're a musician, or if you're someone who wants to start a podcast. Or he also has helped friends of mine record and produce their podcasts. So he's a great producer, music producer, podcast producer, and the co-host of Mike and Kristen, the podcast. And I'm so thrilled that they will be emceeing and doing a live podcast Q&A at my performance at Alderney Landing, September 6th. I'm so excited for this collaboration, for this show, for this experience. I'm so glad that he's going to be there. He's one of my favorite peeps, as is his wife, Kristen. So here's my chat with Michael S. Ryan. You have a nice tan. Like, have you always had nice tans?
I do get dark pretty quick, and a few days in the sun, and I have French Acadian in me.
Same, 90%.
Yeah. Where's your tan?
I don't. I guess I got the 10% Welsh in me comes out, I suppose. I'm not. Never really been a big tanner. I did have a tan when I lived in Texas, but I had to work really hard for it.
I'm good at finding the sun too.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go out in the backyard and it's nice, and I'll sit in the sun and do some writing or whatever, and I know how to get the rays of sun on me.
Do you wear sunscreen?
Not in Nova Scotia.
No?
No.
Oh, well, maybe you're fine. Do you have any skin cancer in your family?
No. Not that I know of.
That's cool. You'll be the first. It's good. It's fine now.
Yeah, if I was going to be on a beach all day, I'd put some on. But once I get to a certain point, like, I just don't burn.
Yeah, wow.
Like, my arms definitely don't, but
I get like heat stroke easily. Are we recording?
I'm pretty good in the sun. I grew up in a beach community in Cape Breton, just playing volleyball on the beach all day. Like, I can look at the sun directly, and that's from all playing volleyball.
You can look at the sun directly?
It doesn't bother me.
They say that's dangerous, but not for you.
I'll play beach volleyball during an eclipse and stare directly at it.
That's so funny. Yeah. I did notice the cataracts in your eyes.
Yeah. 41-year-old with cataracts. I'm sure that's possible.
Probably. So, Inverness?
That's my hometown, yeah.
And what do you tell people, like sometimes I don't always speak highly of some of the places I lived. Are there things about Inverness? Like, what do you tell people when they, like, where are you from? And should I go visit it?
Inverness is my favorite place in the world.
Oh, here we go.
I'll
okay.
only say positive things about there.
Well, yeah. Okay. Tell us some great reasons why we should go spend more time in Inverness.
Well, there's the very stereotypical tourist answers now. We have the top 2 golf courses in Canada.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I was not aware.
The top 2 public golf courses. I think they're both in the top 50 in the world.
Okay, that's pretty high.
So that's like, there's different huge numbers of people there every day throughout the summer for the golf courses.
Okay,
but that's not the draw of the community. That's just something that people with little money can go and do, and celebrities can come there.
What can the poor people do?
Let's
people like us. Let's move on from golf.
Yeah. We have the best beach in the world there.
Why is it the best beach?
It's very long, very big and sandy. There's lifeguard section. If you want to be in a lifeguard section, you can go down there and feel safe. with your kids or with whoever you want to feel safe. But if you want to just have seclusion and privacy, just walk a few kilometers and you have an entire space to yourself.
Okay, that's good.
So,
When you first started, you said lifeguard security. I thought you were going to say lifeguard sex. You can have lifeguard sex in Inverness.
that's probably something a number of people would do every year, but
So it's there if you want it.
yeah, I you should probably get consent and all that first, like
Always.
yeah.
What about is there anything for vegans or plant-based eaters?
For food,
Yeah.
yeah, there's some great new restaurants there. And I go home. I'm not that home that often. So when I'm there, my mom wants to make my favorite meals that I grew up with. So a lot of the time I'm not really going out to eat.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not there very long. And, you go visit your relatives and they're throwing a barbecue. And I'm not going to go to the local restaurant when Uncle Jimmy's going to cook up some sausage dogs. So,
Uncle Jimmy.
yeah.
He's come up a number of times. I should say that Mike and his lovely wife, Kristen Harrington, are sleeping. We're having a sleepover.
Yeah.
We're having two. We've already been through one. It went really well. We're going through another. But Uncle Jimmy has come up a couple times.
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy's, he's been my uncle since I was born.
Yeah?
And my dad's brother. He's just a great man. He always got me a basketball every Christmas. He would find the nicest basketball. I think he would take it from the gym where he was a teacher at and just give us one of his school's basketballs. But they were the nicest ones, and he would write Ryan on it, my last name Ryan, and everyone in my family played basketball. So every high school basketball game I ever played with, I got to use my own ball because it was always better than the one that they're going to use. And I say, hey, why don't we use the Ryan ball? And it was good luck. So
That's really cool.
So Uncle Jimmy, yeah, he's 80, still kicking, still caddying, still traveling around. Went to Florida this winter, converted the back of his van into a bed and was able to sleep on the drive like an 80-year-old with the adventurous spirit he still has. So
That's cool.
props to Uncle Jimmy.
It sounds like you have some of Uncle Jimmy in you.
Certain aspects for sure.
Dale,
Yeah.
stop laughing. Dale's our engineers laughing at Dale.
Hi, Dale.
Sounds like you have some of his traits in your personality.
Yeah. I think the adventurous side for sure. He likes gambling on horse races more than me.
You're not a gambler.
That's
You're not
low on my list of interests, high
Yeah.
on his, but yeah, definitely some of the adventurous side for sure.
Will he listen to this podcast?
I'm not sure if UJ is a podcast listener.
Well, if he is, hi, Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, hi,
And
Jim.
If not, well,
See
fuck
you
him.
this
Fuck
summer.
him. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay, so back to your mom's a great cook,
Yeah,
and she likes to make all the good.
stew and typical Cape Breton meals.
So if I go visit your folks, I'm gonna have to make some exceptions. I should.
Yeah, there's lots of things that she would make that you could eat though. Like stew, there's loads of vegetables in there. You
That's
just
true.
Take out the meaty parts and I'll eat those, and you have the
Yeah.
veggies. And she always has multiple sweets on the go.
Okay.
Like most Cape Breton homes, there's always like 5 different desserts to choose from. Chocolate chip cookies, good little boy cookies.
Good little boy cookies.
Yeah, whatever you want. There's a surplus of sugary bliss.
Oh my God. Well, they sound like good folks. Well, actually, your dad, I'm not sure. Is he a good folk?
Yeah, he's a hardworking man. He inspires me in lots of different ways. He always has, and kind of take a lot of his mentality towards my career in the music industry. Mm-hmm. How I approach things, just with I think just never giving up on anything. Like that's a mentality I've had for a long time, and there's lots of times I probably should have given up, but you just keep going because that's what you've been taught, or that's what you learned from.
So your folks were always supportive of music and
Yeah.
pursuing music.
Yeah, I was in my second year university. Finished up my second year, wrote my exams, had a great year. Was on the dean's list, like doing good in school. And my summer job, my whole life was playing music. Like I was 16, playing in bars around Inverness County, and it was just something we always did. I remember putting up posters in our school, in the high school, to try to get the teachers out to the gigs.
Oh.
But yeah, we'd try to get them to go to the Hoff, a local legendary venue that has since closed. But they're having a Hoff reunion this summer. But anyway, yeah, I finished my second year university, came back, got the band back together. We're playing gigs and we're starting to get pretty good, and we're writing songs. And well, we weren't good, but we were good for a young band who's kind of just playing gigs around Cape Breton. And the summer was going so good. Like we're playing every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and people are liking what we're doing. We have fans, and the songs we're writing are going over well. People are singing along to them, and we decided just one night after an awesome show, like we got to keep doing this. So there was, I think, 3 of us in school at the time, and we all said, let's do this full time, keep this summer alive forever. And look, it's still going. Here we are.
Was Bruce in that band?
Bruce joined very shortly after. So it was a
Okay.
5-piece band, and we moved to Halifax, to the big city. And the drummer we had at the time, Paddy, he didn't come with us. So he stayed behind, and we needed a drummer, and Bruce joined that band. And this is like in 2002 or so, 2003, one of those years.
Holy
crap,
that's
so
a
I've been
while.
playing music with Bruce for 20 years.
Your website says 12.
Well, as a band, as the Town Heroes. Well, that's
right, the
That's
Town
been
Heroes.
since updated to I think it's at 15. The Town Heroes are 15 years old.
Yeah.
But
Okay, gotcha.
Overall, just in playing in other bands together, it's been, I think, over 20 now. Yeah, if math serves me right, it'll be 22.
You guys just put out the Town Heroes.
Yeah.
Which is like the core of it is you and Bruce.
Yeah.
And then you'll have other musicians
Yeah,
join you.
we played as a duo for like 7 or 8 years, really.
And what have you learned? What has Bruce taught you?
Bruce, geez, he's early for everything.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're the only punctual band. I'm sure you're punctual too.
I'm pretty punctual,
Yeah.
but slacking these days.
We're typically at an event like an hour before load in.
Oh, that is really,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And they're like, what are you guys doing here? We're like, we're just here for load in. Like, you're early. Like, that's the way we
funny.
function.
I sometimes like to help set up the chairs in the room
Yeah.
at a venue, and I know they think I'm out of my mind for.
You want to create the perfect seating arrangement for optimal listener pleasure.
And sometimes when you're sitting on tour for a long time, it's nice to do something physical.
Yeah.
And I just don't like waiting around.
One of the first jobs I ever had was conference service, and a big component, about 85% of that was just setting up chairs and tables for conferences.
Right.
And I remember the first day there, I'm like, I got to impress the boss, and like, I have a deep fear of letting people down. So so the boss is like, okay, we got to set up however many tables it was, 50 tables and 500 chairs or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm on it. So he left, and I just went as hard as I could. And I had it done in like, I don't know, a half hour or something. And he came back and like, what the hell's going on here? I'm like, I set up the room, and I'm like pouring sweat and just out of breath. And he's like, just take your time. We have the whole day to do this.
Oh, so you had to learn how to pace yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that bless your little heart.
Yeah,
If anybody needs someone to set something up and has a few extra bucks, Michael S. Ryan is the guy you want to hire. Can you stick around for when we have to do our wood piling? Because that would be
I
great.
love piling wood,
ya?
actually. Yeah.
We'll have to get you back up for that. I'll figure something out.
Tasks that have a definitive end,
Yeah,
I like to do.
me too.
Sometimes when it's confusing, like where should I put this? How do I do it? I get overwhelmed with the the possibilities of what's supposed to happen. But when it's like, move this pile to there,
Yeah.
that's easy. Just
Yeah.
go all out and get it done.
Yeah, it serves a couple purposes when you're like also on the physicality side, like it's your exercise check. And
fresh air.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay.
Memories of hot chocolate back in the day. You finish the wood pile and you get to go in and get some of Ma's hot chocolate.
I could make some cacao for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'll just call your mom and get her recipe. I like to put a little cayenne pepper in mine.
Holy.
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Not in Cumberland County, but
we,
who's listening?
You don't care.
Who's listening, right?
You break the rules.
I know. Speaking of breaking rules, you haven't, but hey, where do you think your deep fear of letting someone down comes from? Have you ever let anyone down?
Oh, I'm sure everybody lets people down.
Yeah.
Probably just like everyone's childhood, I guess, does that to them. Everything that's wrong with you as an adult is from your childhood, I believe.
Yeah.
Freud. Was it Freud who said that? One of those guys. Or he blamed it all on your mother, I think.
Or mom or dad.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I believe in that as well.
I think you're just always trying to live up to expectations, and I think a lot of my good skills and traits come from playing sports, but I also think a lot of bad ones come from that too.
Oh yeah, like
just like the pressure of winning games,
competing,
and like carrying your team, and being the pressure's on you to get to go to the next whatever tournament or provincials. And when I was young, I played basketball a lot, and by the time I was in grade 9, there weren't a lot of people play basketball in my community, so I was probably like the better player on the team. So the pressure on me in grade 9 was to carry this high school team.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of pressure on myself to lead our team to victory. And I didn't all the time.
And you didn't all the time. So that's interesting because I've played sports as well, and I always thought this is a team effort. Like, I'm going to do my part because I just want to do good. I want to push myself. But then when we lost, I never blamed it. I never blamed it on myself. Yeah. Maybe I should have.
Lucky you.
Maybe I should have.
Yeah. Imagine if you took just a little bit more pressure on how good you could have been.
We could have won those provincial volleyball tournaments.
Yeah.
Speaking of failure, did you know that Finland has a day of failure where they celebrate failure and success? This year it's October 13th. And so what I want us to think about what one of our bigger failures could be that we could celebrate.
Still being mid-level artists in our 40s.
I wasn't going to pick that one, but
that's not a failure.
Oh, well, I've had like failed business relationships, but when I look at my life now and what I've learned, I have to celebrate those because, I know I can do it on my own. It's still maybe not be easy, but I have to be kind of grateful for, and maybe that'll change someday. Maybe there'll be, more help, that could help take it to the next level or something like that. But if that never happens, at least I know I can do a lot of things somewhat mediocrely.
But I think failure's very, very important. Like that's what I guess has led me to most of the things I have accomplished in my life, has driven me to work hard at something where I wasn't competent at it, or just needed to have a kick in the arse to work hard at it.
Yeah, I can't think of any. Like, can you think of any gigs that you've just royally fucked up? Like, I can't think of anywhere I left going, oh wow, I just tanked that one. And not that I think the ones that I really was upset about were the ones where I was sick and I couldn't sing my best.
Yeah.
But like in terms of being late or not even showing up, or poor communication. Like, so in those ways, I haven't.
Yeah, I feel like on stage, I always just show up no matter what, just because that's within my control. Have I can have new strings on my guitar. I can make sure my cables all work, and there's no technical issues. It's always something I worry about. Like, oh, what if one of these 80 cables, my pedal board just stops working?
Yeah.
But on stage, like, I know I've put in my thousands and thousands of hours of getting to a point where I can do that.
Yeah.
And I can always deliver to the best of my ability. It doesn't mean it's going to be received positively. Like, there's times where it just doesn't land or whatever it may be, but I know that I always give it the best I possibly can on stage. And if you never know how it's generally going to respond in certain circumstances, if you sold out a show and you know your fans are going to be there, like, you know it's going to go pretty good.
Yeah.
But like on tour or different countries or whatever, like you have no idea what the response will be sometimes.
That's true. And sometimes the reactions, like culturally speaking, like sometimes it's just a region and a certain part of Europe might be just more timid in their reactions between songs, but then afterwards they come up and express their gratitude. And you're like, what? I really didn't think you gave two shits about what we were doing up there.
Or sometimes they don't come up afterwards.
That's true too. But then they leave a beautiful comment online.
Yeah.
Or not. But no, it's true. It can sometimes not land. Well, I think what I'm learning too is that different, like there is something to be said about the right spot for your music and the right stage, the right atmosphere. And sometimes it's hard to predict what will work. Sometimes you try your hardest and it's like, it just feels too controlled. And then sometimes you are anticipating it to be like shit, but then for some reason it's like the most welcome, warm atmosphere and turns out to be the best gig. But like, for example, I wouldn't play anymore like a corporate gig where people are there to mix and talk. Like I guess.
Or if it pays really good.
Well, actually, now I'm thinking about, we did have one of those once and I was so grateful for it because it did help out in a time of need. But they hired me knowing that I was a singer-songwriter. And then 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the show, they said, we don't want you to sing. Can you just play instrumental music? And I was like, whoa. I mean, I guess we can. Like, it was me and Dale. So we just did my songs and some covers, instrumental versions. But I mean, I'm no virtuoso, and instrumentally speaking, like
Dale is though, so you had it covered.
Yeah, we were fine, but they weren't even really listening. But the thing, I was like, wow, they could have just had way to go for supporting artists. I guess they could have just put them on a playlist.
Yeah, I think that's a thing with playing for a while. You just start to turn down more things. You know what works for you and what doesn't, and you gravitate towards the things that light you up or make you feel good about yourself. And you know certain types of environments aren't what you want, and you just steer away from those. And in the first part of your career, you're kind of doing everything.
Yeah.
And you don't know yourself completely at the start too. Like, you don't know what you might be looking for. You may have a vision in your mind of what that is, but I think you just have to get your feet wet out there in the world of live music, of performing, of being in front of different types of audiences, and
absolutely
see where you really stand, and then find your niche and stick to that.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I can say that. Yeah, playing all the difficult scenarios, it does give you a tougher skin, and then you start to identify what I like, what I don't like, and you have to go through the process of sticking up for yourself and saying no, which can be at first tricky, but then you get over that and you're like, meh, I'm just gonna ask for what I want.
Yeah.
And
And I think just if you believe in what you're doing, there's obviously certain circumstances that can be a little intimidating, but we played so many shows as a duo at the start of our career where we're either opening or closing for six or seven piece bands, and we got to get up there after all this instrumentation and horn sections and event. And for a while, like, we're pretty scared to do that because it's just intimidating to have that many people on stage, and then okay, now it's just the two of us. But then you realize, okay, we are doing things that they can't do. We have our own strengths, the things that we're going to rely on and that we're going to showcase to the crowd. And eventually, like, we weren't afraid to play the same stage as anybody. We were excited to, like, we'll take that challenge. It ultimately became like a challenge. Like, we'll get on or after, be on before or after any band and be as good as them or close to,
Yeah.
So it was about building confidence, I think, too.
Yeah. That's a good one. Just knowing that you have something unique to bring to the table.
Yeah.
If you don't, I would find, like, when you don't know that, or when you're, questioning that, that's a scary place to be, I find. To know your why. Good reminder.
Yeah, the why is pretty important.
Yeah. Speaking of going back to landing the gig, I attended your album release show, your surprise album release show.
Secret show, yeah.
Yeah, the secret show for your new album, Singin.
Yeah.
Singin. Town Heroes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was this incredibly curated secret event that you didn't know. Well, some of the band knew, but you and Bruce didn't know what the venue was.
Didn't know anything. Yeah.
Didn't know nothing.
Didn't know who was going, where it was, who's doing sound. Yeah, what the setup would be like. Just the whole thing was a surprise.
Were you nervous about that at all, or were you like, let's do it, let's go for it? Was there
I just wanted to be a good crowd.
Yeah.
Again, like, after playing for so many years, I'm like, if there's a crowd in front of me, I know I can entertain them. And again, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I know how to show a lot of energy on stage, how to build a song to a point where they think it's a climax, and how to keep going, and how to bring a lot of just dynamics to a song and to a performance. And I always feel like the hardest part of playing music is just finding your audience. Like, I know that there's people who would be fans of us out there that have never heard of us, and I'm like, if there's only a way if we could open for this band, X band, or whatever, whoever it may be, and get their audience to come to us, kind of thing. I know we can entertain them. But back to your question, I wasn't nervous about performing or any of those aspects, because I knew how well that the Curiosity Club had put it together. I was just hoping there was going to be a crowd, like, going to be a good group of people there. And when we got there, it was like the best group of people ever assembled.
Yeah, there's a great
including
crowd.
you.
That was a really, really fun to be there. A privilege and a pleasure. And what I really, when you guys took the stage, I mean, it just incredible. The music sounded great. You guys were. It was like you didn't even have to warm up. You were just like on. I don't know if it felt that way to you, but the people were really pumped. And then before the show, there was a whole hour where you and Bruce were blindfolded and picked up at your house.
Yeah.
And then driven to a boat.
Yeah.
And then you got in a speedboat with some people, and they're filming all this. And we're watching the live stream from within the venue. And we're able to interact with you through Facebook Live.
Yeah, through the person filming.
Yeah. So we're asking questions. And then they're relaying the questions in the car. You're answering them. It's just so interactive and engaging, and people were really really like all the comments I heard around me were like, "This is such a great idea, and
Yeah.
isn't this awesome?" And the setting was beautiful, and all the little surprise details in the venue itself. Like, it just confirmed for me, because I love that kind of stuff. Just that like, make it a treat if you can.
Yeah.
Especially for a CD release, which is so special, right? A special
Yeah.
time to celebrate with the people you love, all the hard work that you put into something.
And this is our 7th album, and we did one of them. We didn't do an album release because it was during COVID, but so we've had 6 album releases before, or 5, I guess, and they're all just generally you book a venue and have a party kind of thing.
Yeah.
And at this point in our career, like, we just don't want to repeat ourselves. We want to push the envelope as far as we can, and we want to be entertainers more than just people play music, and creating something that's a little bit outside the box, outside the norm is exciting to me. Like, that's what I would appreciate.
Yeah.
Going to an event like that, like what you're planning for your album release September 6th. You just
excited.
put a little bit of, or a lot of, extra attention into the small details, and
Yeah.
the audience just appreciates that in the end. And again, it's still amazing to go to the marquee and play an album release show to a bunch of people, and we'd probably make more money and all that. And that's one way to do it. But creating a special event that we're never going to forget, like, this is always going to be at the forefront of my mind for the top shows I've ever played. And a lot of people in the audience, like, this is the coolest show I've ever been to. So having even one person say that is worth every single bit of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy for you. It all went really well, and it's just a great way to kick off an album. So the album is out
Yes.
on CD and digital, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. And Bandcamp? Do you have Bandcamp? No?
I didn't put it up. Like, didn't something happen with Bandcamp that people stopped supporting it recently?
Oh, great.
Yeah, I feel like that happened.
Really?
We just sell them directly from our website.
Okay.
So that's kind of, if someone wants to,
They just-
Bandcamp was the place to go where people are like, I really want to support them, I'm going to go to Bandcamp.
Yeah.
But you could really, really support us and
By
just
just
go
going-
to our website.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
good point. Well, I'll have to check that because my stuff's up on Bandcamp.
Yeah, something
too.
happened there.
Well, they did get bought by another entity.
Yeah.
But I think they're still rolling.
They're still rolling,
Yeah.
but I feel like there was something I remember, and people were boycotting them. And
Okay. Boycotting.
oh yeah,
Oh,
why
geez.
not?
Why not? I gotta
I
move
can't
my
remember
stuff
what it
fast.
is.
No. Okay.
But it's just
Okay.
easier to put it on our own website, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we get 100% of the money. Bandcamp doesn't take a lot, but they still take whatever, 20% or.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll check on that later, and then move my stuff over to your website.
Yeah,
Oh God.
that's the place everyone's selling now from our website.
I asked your wife, Kristen, this, so I'm going to ask you. What would I have to do to you for you to not want to be my friend anymore?
I don't know if there's anything you could do, Christina.
That's, wow. Kristen
I don't know,
said,
if you-
if I hurt you,
If you,
if I broke your fingers
yeah, if you broke,
or your
if
hand.
you just hit me with a hammer, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be not
Like
cool.
intentionally. Like if you accidentally hit me, that's fine,
cool.
perfectly fine.
Okay.
If you just went on a rampage and attacked us, I would like, something's a little off with Christina today.
What if
And
it's
then
just
I'd
off
give you
my
another
meds?
chance.
Yeah.
And if you hit me again,
Okay.
so
I got a few.
2 hammer shots.
I got a few chances here. Dale, get the hammers out. That's okay. That's good to know. What's the best thing that's ever happened to you?
Best things ever happened to me? I got to pet a cheetah when I was in grade 6.
What? How and where? And was this supervised?
Yeah. A guy showed up at my school one day and they made an announcement And they're like, everybody please report to the gymnasium. So we just went down, and there was just a guy standing there with a cheetah in Inverness, small town,
Another reason to go to Inverness.
rural Cape Breton. And there was no introduction or anything. It was just this guy's there with the cheetah. And he just says, the first thing he asked or said was a question. He's like, what's the biggest species of bear aside from a polar bear? And I look around and no one's raising their hand. And I'm like in grade 6, and all I knew about at the time was animals and animal related statistics and facts. So I just raised my hand, and I'm a shy little kid. I'm like, Kodiak bear? He's like, you got her, buddy. And then so he starts asking question after question, and I'm just answering them like one after another. And I got 7 in a row, and he's like, get up here, kid.
Oh,
so
my God.
the whole school starts cheering, and I go up, and the cheetah's there, drugged out of its mind, right? Because it's a wild animal in the middle of Cape Breton and would bite my head off if it wasn't.
In a school?
In the school, yeah. So I just started stroking that cat and petting him and feeling all the glory that comes with that.
We're going to just cut this clip and put it on repeat, but put it somewhere else in the episode.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
that in my wedding. Yeah. Marrying Kristen. They're the two.
Well, tell us about your wedding.
Well, we eloped in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't invite anyone. It was just ourselves. And we told our parents and close friends. And yeah, we didn't, it wasn't an official wedding, a symbolic wedding, but we just walked along the beach and like, hey, this is a cool tree. Why don't we do it here? Mm-hmm. So we just went under the tree and read our vows and exchanged rings. And said, yeah, we're married now. And
Amazing.
We walked along till we found just a band playing on the beach. And we sat there and pretended they were playing for us. And these were our wedding songs. And we ate breakfast buffet, some bacon and eggs, and I think some cheesecake because it was our wedding. And yeah, we just celebrated like that. And then we came back to Canada and had a party where we invited all our friends and family to our house and had a celebration there. So it was
It sounds really lovely.
simple.
Yeah.
Didn't cost us anything. We got rings made by a girl just finished NASCAD. She was what do you call it, jewelry maker or jeweler?
Sure.
And yeah, she made these awesome rings for us. And she's going to be a sponsor of our podcast this
you have a podcast, do you?
Yeah.
You do have a podcast. Not only that, you have a podcast called Mike and Kristen.
Yeah.
The podcast. It's very it is an acclaimed podcast now. And I would say it's the most, like, if you ask a bunch of people, like, well, who's a famous Nova Scotia podcaster, Mike and Kristen would come
I don't
up.
know, famous.
I think so. You guys are celebrities.
Oh yeah.
And you've got also, you and Kristen are authors.
Yeah.
And you released a book that I have in my hands here called You and Me, Travel, Misadventures, and Love Around the World. And it's your stories. You each take turns writing a chapter, sharing sometimes very comical, humorous and comical mean the same thing.
It's similar, but we'll roll with two different ones.
Both. Sometimes very comical, and I just love it. It makes me smile real big. Also, an audio version.
Yeah,
available.
we did an audio book. A lot of work went into that. I think the audio book is actually better than the book because there's sound effects in there. Like there's a chapter Kristen wrote called Lieutenant Dan, and we're on a boat in Thailand and then a storm comes in, so I have thunder and lightning sounds and waves crashing and then music underneath it. That's all original music, and it just captures the feel off it a little better.
Okay, now I've got to listen to the audiobook.
Yeah.
I'll
send you a copy.
Okay, I was moving away from audiobooks because I wanted to get back into actual books, physical books, and trying to get away from my screen time. But we also love listening to audiobooks in the car.
Yeah.
And when we're touring or drives to Halifax. So,
Yeah.
okay. So you and me, Mike and Kristen, the podcast.
Yes.
Check it out, everybody. And I have no idea where we are for time, but
We've been going for at least 5 minutes.
at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. This is good. I lost my train of thought because I'm battling a head cold right now.
You
But
got this, Christina.
I've got this.
Yeah. You're winning.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Oh, I've heard you say that, and I definitely relate to this, and I think I know why for myself, but I'm curious with you. Like, I've heard you say that you just want people to feel something when they listen to something that you make, music, probably even a podcast, which mission accomplished, for me anyway. But why do you, I mean, like, I actually know why it's important to me to have other people feel something. Mm-hmm. And music has helped me feel. Why is that important to you? Like, what do you think that's important to?
Well, I guess first and foremost, you're hoping that feeling is a good thing. Like, obviously, a song or something we wrote or a podcast can elicit negative feelings, and hopefully we're not doing that, but there's always a potential for that. Mm-hmm. I just think that living can be hard at times, that there's tough things that everybody goes through, mm-hmm. and that the arts are a way that people can step away from a lot of those negative things that are happening in their life, or it's a way that can help point them in a direction that may be a slightly better path, or just bring you joy for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. And I think that everybody, myself included, the reason I like the pieces of art and creative works is because I find so much joy in it myself, and I feel like it's a big responsibility to have someone come to a show or to buy an album. Like, my responsibility when they attend a show or are at something or purchase something that I've created, like, they took the time out of their day, the money out of their pocket to invest it in what I've created, and I have to take that serious, and I want them to walk away from that with something hopefully positive.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just for that moment, like that exact moment while it happens, or maybe it's something that can last a little bit longer, or maybe it can put them on a path where it can lead them down a rabbit hole of other music. Like, mm-hmm. Oh, I like the Town Heroes. Who else sounds like them? And maybe they find some other Nova Scotia bands. Maybe they find Christina Martin because of us.
Yeah.
But I think it's just...
Or Neil Young.
Yeah, could be Neil Young. I've read somewhere before that it's an artist's responsibility to make sense of our emotions. And that's a tall order for sure. But I've always felt like I'm just someone who is meant to observe the world around me and then capture that in some type of artistic form and create a relatable example for other people. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just to make everybody feel like we're on this journey together. This is a shared humanity that we all experience, and we're the same as one another. And I think that's what great art can make you feel.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What's your answer?
You had me at hi. I don't even think we said hi. I don't even think I welcomed you to the podcast.
I'm Mike.
What's your middle name?
Steven.
Michael, Steven, Ryan. Those are 3 first names.
Yeah, I've offended some people before just by having 3 first names.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Were they European?
They were Bantfian.
Oh, okay.
I just had someone about to buy an album once.
Yeah.
And like, oh, great show. And like, thanks so much. And like, how much are the albums? And like, whatever, $10 I think at the time. And pass it to them. And they're like digging for money and like, what's your name? And like, Mike Ryan. And like, Mike Ryan? Like, yeah. And just like threw the album on the ground and walked away.
Maybe your name reminded them of their mother's Mr. Not mistress.
I think
but
they said like two first names and threw it and then walked away.
Maybe their mother slept with a guy cheated on their father with a guy named Michael and Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
A good thing you didn't say Michael Stephen Ryan, because it could have been.
They would have been very mad.
Yeah, dude, that's odd, but yeah, who knows what that person went through that day or in their life, I guess. Hey, where can we find you online? You're in a couple places.
On the internet.
On the internet.
Yeah, I'm out there.
You've got Mike and Kristen website, right? MikeandKristen.ca, maybe?
Yeah.
You've got Michael S. Ryan.
Yeah.
And the Town Heroes.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Like those places, those are the hubs where you can find everything
they
else.
would link anyone to anything that they would be interested in.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, my band is the Town Heroes. Myself is Michael S. Ryan, typically. Yeah, I chose that name. Just Mike Ryan is pretty boring. Like,
oh no,
it's too common.
Is it?
Mike Ryan.
I don't know any other Mike Ryans.
I had a teacher in school named Mike Ryan.
So in Inverness?
No, in Halifax,
really?
Audio engineering.
Huh. Was he from Cape Breton?
No.
Okay.
Wow. People would send me emails upset about their marks and stuff.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You should have just emailed them back and said, I'm changing it to an A.
No, I always said, yeah, you're getting even lower now.
Oh.
No, I just forwarded to him.
Oh, that would have been awesome if you got some people trying to bribe you to give them a better grade.
Yeah. I'm sure I could. If I really worked it, I could have got like $10 out of someone.
You could have, but you didn't. So AI is something I have mixed emotions about.
Yeah.
I'm curious, actually. Tell me where you're at with AI right now.
I think the world's going to be a completely different place in a very short amount of time, like almost unrecognizable in probably the next 5 years. But in the meantime,
even here in Port Howe, you think?
Yeah, I think there's just so many things are going to become automated. That'll probably be in a few more years, but like there's, I think it's Sora. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but it's a new software or new AI that is a video generator, and that in due time, I don't know how long, but will essentially take over movie making or components of movie making, which is crazy to think of.
Yeah.
There's a guy building a giant soundstage, like a film studio, like I think it was like almost $1 billion, and he saw a clip that this beta version of this program made, and he just stopped. He's like, filming is dead or will be dead. But I think that's going to happen with a lot of things. I think the human component will still be very important. And the last thing to go completely will be the arts, because I don't know if an AI can ever really relate to heartache or whatever, losing someone, or the things that we often write about and share in our songs and stories. But yeah, a lot of stuff will change. But I've been using AI myself recently. Like I used AI for a lot of artwork for our singles and for our album. Like it's a tool that if you use properly can do some things that I couldn't do anyway.
Would you use it for songwriting?
I don't know if I would. I would if I feel like it could help me in a positive way. Like maybe there'd be instances where I'm stuck in a spot, and it could maybe give me some ideas that my mind hasn't kind of really thought about. I don't think I would just say write a song about this and like use my voice kind of thing. I wouldn't want to do that, but it might just be a tool to help aid me in songwriting.
Sort of like using a rhyming dictionary or thesaurus,
but again, we have no idea where it's gonna go.
Yeah,
like it's all in the early stages now, and apparently I haven't heard any of the songs that AI makes, but some people said, "Oh yeah, I heard some and they sound good." The software is not there yet to create great stuff, especially probably not in like our genres. Where a lot of it, lyrics are really important and the voice is important, but I'm sure it can probably make some good dance music.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a few years when it advances and potentially becomes sentient, I have no idea what to expect in the world.
Well, I used AI to write your goodbye message.
Okay, that you're for yourself or for me to read?
No, for me to read. For me to read to you.
Okay.
Usually I just write this up myself.
Yeah.
But I thought,
Chat GPT.
Yep.
Yeah, I use Chat GPT for a number of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In podcasting.
Well, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, this is my goodbye message. Also, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me in your beautiful home. Mr. Dale Murray over there recording this.
Yeah.
Can't see him, but I know he's there. I can just feel his presence, his good vibes.
He was stretching because he has a bad back. As I say that, my sciatic is kicking in. And he was laughing at times.
Okay, good.
I saw him chuckling. Thank you for being on a Chat with Her podcast. And I look forward to more creations with you and creating with you and hanging out with you and your lovely wife, Kristen.
For sure.
For like the rest of our lives, unless we do something.
Hammer attacks.
Or break your fingers or something.
Yeah.
Which she's made clear that wouldn't be cool. Okay. So I'd used AI for the first time to create this goodbye message.
Okay.
I think I put in type a goodbye message to my friend Michael S. Ryan in 5 sentences. Okay. Goodbye. Michael S. Ryan, you are a remarkably talented musician whose melodies resonate deeply with all who hear them.
Ah.
As an author, your words weave stories that captivate and inspire, showcasing your profound understanding of the human experience.
Ooh, I like that.
Beyond your artistic achievements, you're a cherished friend, always there with a listening ear and wise counsel. Like, I agree with all of this. This is Christina talking, not AI. So far, our AI's done it.
It's nice. Very kind.
Yeah. AI likes you. Your generosity and kindness have touched many lives, creating a ripple effect of positivity and love.
Nice.
Your unwavering dedication it's a little over the top, isn't it? It's true, but your unwavering dedication to creating and your friends make you a true beacon. Your unwavering dedication to creating and to your friends makes you a true beacon of creativity and compassion.
Oh.
Celebrating your contributions to music, literature, and friendship, we are grateful for the light you bring into our lives.
Jeez.
Wow.
I think they confused me with a combination of Nelson Mandela and...
no, they didn't. It's very accurate. Although I could have, derobotized it a little bit here. But it is all very true.
Well, thank you, AI.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chat GPT 3.5. Is that what version you're on?
I don't know, but I'll check. And this has been great. I love having you at our house, just chilling out. It's been great.
Been awesome
to spend more time. Sorry that I have a head cold.
Oh, I like you more with a cold.
Do you really? Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
well,
you're better with a cold.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, well, let's go.
Okay, where are we going?
I might go lay down.
Want to go for a swim in the salt water?
Dale, Dale will go for a
Look,
swim.
the sun's coming out and the salt water's good for a cold.
I don't go in the water.
At all.
No, that is not my home. That
what's
is
wrong with
someone
you?
else's home. Yeah, I know. Can't trust a person who won't go in the water.
I'll let you wear my Crocs in to protect your feet.
God. No, I won't. I will go. I'll walk and I'll wade in the water.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go to bed.
But do you know how good the salt water is for a cold?
No, it's really good.
Very good.
Do you have to swallow it?
You just drink like a couple liters.
No, that's BS.
Yeah. No, you go in. I like to get a little in my sinus cavity
Okay.
and just like let it. It's kind of like nature's neti pot.
Well, what I'm gonna do instead, because I also don't like cold water, is I'm gonna do a steam with salt water.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
Is
you
that
go.
good? And then I'm
I'll,
gonna gargle.
I'll allow it.
Okay. But you guys should go swimming. Are you gonna go for reals?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
Dale, you going? Great. Well,
It's high tide.
see ya. Okay, well, then let's cut, end.
Cut.
It's love. I don't want to say goodbye to you. Oh, I don't want to say goodbye to you.
Welcome to the Heartbeat Hotline, 1-902-669-4769. I'm the host of A Chat with Heart podcast, Christina Martin, and I'm so excited you called. Leave me your question, a suggestion for the podcast, or a comment about this episode. Please be aware your message may be used on the podcast and social media. Tell me your name, where you're calling from, and it's also fine if you want to remain anonymous. Thanks for listening. Have a great fucking day. Thanks for listening to A Chat with Heart podcast, produced by me, Christina Martin. Co-produced and engineered by my husband, Dale Murray. Dale's a stellar singer-songwriter and music producer, so check out his website, dalemurray.ca. The podcast theme song, Talk About It, and I Don't Want to Say Goodbye to You were written by me and recorded by Dale. Visit my Bandcamp to find CDs, vinyl, digital music, and fun merch like custom-made puzzles and temporary tattoo packs. Become a monthly or yearly supporter of this podcast and my music endeavors on Patreon. If you're new to Patreon, it's a membership platform that helps creators get paid. I love it. Sign up as a free or paid member at patreon.com/Christina Martin. I would love it if you had time to share, rate, leave a review, and subscribe to A Chat with Heart on all the places you listen to podcasts. Wishing you, my little heartbeat listeners, a great day.